Well, this is going to be a little bit of a different video here today. We were upstairs having some dinner and watching some YouTube videos. And we realized it's a little chilly in the house. The furnace is blowing cold air. So, okay, now we have to figure out why our furnace is blowing cold air. We live in a very rural town where any normal service call from any kind of a heating and air conditioning company or a plumber, electrician, anything like that, it's a ridiculous amount of money just to get somebody out here, first of all. Second of all, it is 7 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon, so we wouldn't get anybody out here tonight for sure. Third, I think I can probably fix this myself. We had an issue several years ago, and looking back at it, it was in 2014, where we had a very similar thing happen. And in doing some research, I was able to fix it myself, saving us a ton of money on a service call from a heating and air conditioning company. So let's have a look at what we have here. This is our furnace. And on the back side of the bottom door here is this information. I took a picture of that and printed it out and blew it up and taped it onto the outside of the furnace so I can look at what this little, there's a little light in here, I'll show you in a second. Based on the flashing pattern of that light, we can see what the problem might be. If it's flashing just continuous slow, it's normal, no call for heat. Flashing fast, normal, it's calling for heat. Continuous on, off, 2 flashes, 3 flashes, and so on. So let me turn the light off here, and I will turn the furnace on, and I'll show you what the light is doing. You can see that's flashing at a steady pace, which is its normal call for heat. Or no call for heat, rather. Now it's flashing faster, which is the normal call for heat. Now it's flashing 9 times. That's 9 flashes. So what does 9 flashes mean? Let me turn the light back on. I can turn this off. According to our little chart here, 9 flashes means check igniter. That's the issue we had back in 2014. We purchased 2 igniters. One has been living here ever since May of 2014. We need it today. So I'm going to get some tools. I'm going to open these up and I will replace the furnace igniter. And real quick, guys, here's that list, that little chart that I took a photo of and blew up and taped onto the outside of the furnace. That way you don't have to open this up to read it, because once you open this up, this little switch here is no longer depressed, and this has to be depressed in order for the lights to flash in any pattern. So we'd have to pull that off. I'd have to hold this down. I'd have to look and count. So just a lot easier to have that information right there on the outside of the furnace. All right, so what we're gonna do is take the cover off of this here. There's 4 screws here. Sorry, the lighting's not the greatest. I'll grab the headlamp out in a second. Get these undone here. Put these down here. Let's get this door off. If I remember correctly, this was kind of a bear to get back on when I was done. So I want to make sure I remember how it goes. There we go. Slides up. and in. So we'll set that aside here. And let me get my light. So these are the burners here for the furnace. Let's turn this light on here. The igniter will plug right in here, and it goes up in there. I might need another tool to get that out. Let's see if I've got a small enough wheel here with me. That's the one right there. All right, I'm going to need another screwdriver, though I think, nope, that'll fit right there nicely. Perfect. All right, let's see if I can get a light in here. Light this up a little bit for you. That's a little better. Let's get this undone here. Keep that screw separate. All right, so is there another one in there? There's two. There we go. Okay, so if we look at this here, this is the igniter. Let's get the light out of there. Put it on here for you. So this is the igniter part that I'm going to replace. That looks like it's pretty worn. Let's compare it to the new one. Just right in here. Oh yeah, that old one's pretty worn. Let's hold these side by side so you can have a look. So, old is on the left, new is on the right. I don't know what's best for light here, let's see. Kind of like that. Old is on the left, new is on the right. That's bad lighting. Sorry about that. In the basement, it's a little challenging. So there's a significant difference in size here. You can see. So we'll go ahead and install the new one.
Oh. Oh, was it? It was that long before?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
This is a new one.
Oh,
So
wow.
see how it's all kind of
Yeah.
worn?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah. So I'm just gonna unplug.
Huh.
Just gonna unplug this one here.
So just about 6 years.
Yep, 6
Well-
years. Yep, May 2014. I wrote it right on the thing there.
I'll be darned.
So that'll just unplug. Here's the old one.
Okay.
I'll plug this new one in here. Should I write on it, seeing as how we're not going to have
Sure.
the old one as a reference?
Sharpie.
Yeah, that'd be great. So April of 2020. I'll write this on here. April of 2020. There's that. Okay. Let's get this plugged in here. I think it goes this way. Click it in. Now I gotta put everything back. This goes through here.
Man, that was a huge difference.
In the size?
Yeah.
I know.
It just finally just reached its
Oops, this way. It's breaking point.
limit, or
Yep.
didn't make contact or whatever.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that was glad we had that extra one on hand.
Yeah, we should just order another one.
Yeah, absolutely. part number.
Yep, I've got the box here where we ordered it from, so
okay. Perfect.
make sure that's on there nice and tight. Alright, now we gotta put this guy back in here. And two. Tighten those both down really well. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and put everything back together here. This guy tucks up behind that. I'm going to go ahead and put everything back together. And then I will come back with you and turn it on. If you're wondering why I have my phone here, I'm watching myself on video to make sure that I'm getting the image I want in the picture. So I set my phone up to look on the GoPro so I can see what I'm doing. It's a little delayed. Oh, let me change this out here. All right. Hold that one in place. Close this down. And hey, Sherry, is the furnace on upstairs? It should be.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it on. Now, if we look at this here, get my light off. Turn that off. Okay, we've got the light blinking. That's the no call for heat. Now it's gonna go faster, call for heat. It hasn't immediately kicked into the check igniter mode, so we're further along than we were. Sounds like it lit. Well, that's the normal sound our furnace should make. Sherry says we've got warm air coming out of the vents upstairs. Problem solved. No need to spend, I forget, last time we called for any kind of service, it was like $150 just for somebody to come out here. And that would have included, like, you know, maybe an hour of their time here. So, so we just saved at least $150 and maybe more. So glad we had that part on hand, glad it was easy enough to do. Again, thanks to YouTube for some amazing tutorials 6 years ago, but you know, you do something once and you kind of, with a little refresher looking at things, you kind of remember. So yeah, thankfully we had a spare backup. Sherry just made a really good point. So we're gonna order, huh? You're awesome. Thank you. We're gonna order another one of these so we have another backup, because you never know. We are gonna be selling the house, but it'll be nice for the new owners to have that. It's, you know, minimal cost to us, and it's a convenience for whoever might be here next needing it. And if you notice, I did change my hat. I have the GoPro mount on this one that allowed me to wear the hat and get some get some video of what I was doing there up close and personal. So, all right, problem solved. Have a great night, guys. So one thing I did want to say is I'm in no way saying that you should tackle things that are outside of your comfort zone when it comes to repairs of you know, appliances, or, you know, like your furnace or a hot water heater or anything like that. In fact, we had to have a friend come over and light our hot water heater for us because I thought I was doing everything correctly, and I was doing, you know, 9 out of 10 steps properly, but there was one step that I wasn't doing right. So a friend came over and lit the hot water heater for us. So if you're comfortable tinkering with things and you can kind of follow instructions and look at something and recognize, oh, okay, this part must go here, and just little things like that, absolutely, jump on YouTube. YouTube is a wonderful tool to use to learn how to do things. So I would say absolutely jump on YouTube, do a little research, go to manufacturers' websites, like for our example, our Trane furnace. Do a little research, and if you can do things on your own, you can save yourself a ton of money and have things done quickly. Like tonight, a little after 7, we wouldn't have had somebody out here till tomorrow at the earliest. I don't know how busy people are nowadays, but it would have been at least tomorrow before we would have had this taken care of. It's not brutally cold, but the nights are getting chilly, so it's nice to wake up to a warm house in the morning. So if you're comfortable doing things like that, I'd say go for it. It never hurts to try. But just know that if it's something that is a little beyond your comfort level or your scope of understanding or knowledge, then you might have to call somebody. But never hurts to try. All right, guys. See ya.